Hey y'all, welcome back to Dissecting Disney. We got a special guest. This is Alex. This is our old college roommate. So, how you feeling, Alex?
Feeling great, excited to be on here. It's been a long time coming.
Dissecting Disney debut. As you can tell, we are not on Zoom. We are in fact in person. All COVID free, don't even worry about that. Today, we watched a Disney Channel, not Disney Channel Classic. Is it Classic?
It's not a Disney Channel, too. It's Disney. I don't know.
I guess it's, yeah. Is there a difference?
Yeah, there's a big difference.
Oh. Anyway.
Disney Channel were movies like on Disney Channel, but this is like an actual movie. You know what I'm saying?
Who cares? All right, it's Disney. Disney Frozen. Okay,
Frozen.
Classic. Again, still not a classic, but blockbuster. Always say that blockbuster movie. And I think we're gonna have some disagreements on this. It's the first time that we're gonna have some real disagreements, and they're wrong, and I'm right. Know that going into it.
Okay. All right.
So the plot. Who wants to take us through the plot?
Well, I'll start out. I mean, it starts in Anna and Elsa are little kids in the castle, and Elsa's playing with Anna, and she's using her powers to kind of, have some fun, build a snowman, makes a slide, and then Anna gets pretty high up on like these piles of snow that Elsa keeps laying for her. She basically is gonna fall, and Elsa hits her like in her eye or in her head, and so then they take her to these trolls, and the trolls are like,
Just sounds stupid.
the trolls are like, all right, well I can, I'm gonna take her memories and switch them up to where like she doesn't remember that Elsa has powers, and heals her, and then they tell Elsa, like, hey, like, don't let anybody see that you have powers. Like, this is bad. They're going to look at you like a monster if you show it. And so then 15 years goes by, or 10 or 15 years, right? And she hasn't shown anybody that she has powers. The parents die probably, 3 or 4 years before Elsa comes of age to be
We really
queen.
don't know, because the movie does a really bad job of giving us time.
That is true.
Like, they just never show like 15 years, 10 years, 5 years. It's just like they grow older, but you have no idea how long it's actually been.
That's a good point. And so your parents die, and then the day comes where Elsa will become queen, a coronation day, and they open up the gates for the first time since I guess the first incident where Elsa hurt Anna, and anybody else wanna take it over from there?
Well, and then they, at the coronation, Elsa's powers are revealed.
Yeah.
Because Anna meets a guy, Hans, and they get engaged that night. He proposes. She says yes. They go and tell Elsa. Elsa's livid, rightfully so, because she just met him that day. And Elsa gets mad. They fight, and sure enough, her powers are revealed, and everyone claims she's a sorceress.
Yes.
And she runs off into the mountains to never be seen again. Anna chases after her, meets a guy named Kristoff and his reindeer.
Sven,
I forgot the name. And then a snowman, Olaf. They go find Elsa. Elsa then shoots some ice into Anna's heart.
Yep.
They go to the trolls again. The troll's like, sorry about it. We can't do anything about it.
The heart is the one part that he can't heal. The head.
Right. The head, that'd be awesome. But the heart can't do it. Only love. Only love can do that. And so they go back to find Hans, her fiance, and then it turns out Hans is a terrible guy, really wants to just take control of the kingdom.
Yeah.
Goes and tries to kill Elsa, and then was holding Elsa hostage.
Mm-hmm.
Anna then kind of begins to hold her hostage as well, and then eventually everything works out in the end.
I mean, let's not leave out, this whole scene where Kristoff is trying to run back to save Anna because she's about to freeze. Elsa is sad because Hans has told her that Anna died, and she's like, well, what's the point? And I killed my sister. Like I pretty much suck. And then Anna sees Hans about to kill Elsa. She runs over, freezes right as like the sword is coming down, breaks the sword, saves Elsa, but now she's frozen. And then, for some reason, Elsa hugs her, and then she unfreezes. I think they were like an act of true love, and it was Anna sacrificing herself for Elsa. Elsa didn't do anything for Anna. That's, one big thing I would point out.
I mean, you would think that if you're having to have an act of true love, like, it should be somebody else doing it for you to save yourself. Like, so, with the whole thing is, like, you need an act of true love for this. Like, and Anna has to save herself after all of Elsa's, mishandlings. Like, she has to sacrifice her own life just to be able, like, to save herself. Like, it should have been the other way around.
And Alex is our pro Anna person on the podcast.
Yes.
And me.
Well,
okay.
but he
definitely.
He's
I'm more of an anti-Elsa.
Right. So Alex, why don't you start us off with the characters and talk to us about your true love, Anna.
Look, so we got to start here with Princess Anna. I think, from the get-go, she's got a tough rap. I mean, she, as a little girl, her and Elsa best friends, they're hanging out, and then boom, Elsa accidentally hits her in the head with some ice. Like, it happens, we're all kids. We've all
almost
been there.
Kills her.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
And so their response is, we're going to lock Elsa in her room away from her for the rest of your life, and not only, like, are we locking Elsa away so she can't play with you, we're locking the doors to the castle. So you can't go out and have a normal life either. So poor Anna here has to just be stuck inside the castle, forever with no social interaction. Was the Prince Hans thing a mistake? Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, she's had no social interaction anywhere from like 10 to 15 years. She doesn't know any better. She thinks that's what true love is in the books that she has to read. So, I mean, I think she's great.
I want to stop you there, actually, because she doesn't read any books, okay? She, spends time
How do you know?
staring at a clock.
We had
staring at a clock rather than read books. I actually thought that when I was like, someone should give her a book so she can be educated instead of staring at this clock being tick-tock, tick-tock.
That was one day.
Time's a construct.
That was one day of her life. I mean, who knows what she did with the other 10 years.
She's clearly educated. So clearly she's been reading some books. But, I think just the whole premise of everything is that, she's always overshadowed by Elsa. I say for what reason? For what reason? Anna's nothing but a sweetheart, doesn't, goes out of her way to make people's lives better, and Elsa just overshadows her,
But Elsa is the queen.
She's the queen.
This is why we don't need a monarch.
I agree.
And thank God we don't have one, because...
So she's better because she's born first?
That's why we don't need a monarch. Shout out to the American Revolution. Holla at your founding fathers real quick.
I agree with you. And I mean, last thing to touch on, the whole Anna-Elsa controversy. I mean, Elsa turns into this great ice queen. It makes her this gorgeous flowing gown. Couldn't think to okay, maybe Anna, could need one. I mean, she's got a suitor here in Hans. She's got a suitor here in Kristoff. And let's throw her to the wolves, literally, as they're chasing up the mountain trying to get her. Nothing to help her. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you hit us with your analysis of Elsa.
Oh gosh. Well, Hunter, I'm sure you're gonna have a lot of things to say about this, but to me, I don't. I'm sure you guys remember watching. This came out in 2013, and for years after this movie came out, every little girl wanted to be Elsa. To me,
it's a dang shame.
That's somebody who tries to kill their sister multiple times, runs away from responsibilities,
literally.
And just clearly, I mean, she thinks she's trying to save people, but she's hurting them the whole time. And it's you gotta face your fears. You find a way to fix it. Take help. She rejects every chance of help that Anna tries to offer her. And I just think doesn't deserve the love.
I mean, honestly, she doesn't even look over her shoulder to make sure that she's not. Because again, when she left Arendelle, she didn't even know that she put him in a torrential snowstorm. Yeah. And then with the same thing, when she put that piece of ice through Anna's heart, couldn't even look over her shoulder to make sure that her sister was okay.
Exactly.
It's just the little things.
Yeah, I was saying, she gets Anna with ice in her heart, and she doesn't even ask, oh my gosh, are you okay? She's like, leave. That's it's like shooting somebody with a gun and saying, all right, now leave. I don't really care if you're alive.
All right, let's move on from there, because we'll get into the Anna-Elsa controversy. Y'all, they're anti-Elsa. I'm not pro-Elsa, but I don't think Elsa is nearly as bad as y'all are making her out to be. So let's talk about Hans. Okay, Hans is this guy who is those South Isles or
Southern Isles.
He's 11th or 12th in line or something, and he finds Anna, runs into her, almost pushes her into a lake by hitting her with his horse. Yeah. and they fall in love, and turns out is a terrible human being, and they were acting the entire time. So he's an awful, awful person.
Yeah.
Kristoff, Anna finds Kristoff.
Can I talk a little bit more about Hans? Just real quick. I want to say the whole movie, this guy seems like a great guy. Like the whole movie, there's not a hint of him being evil. He even like fakes her out so hard, like he goes in for the kiss, and then he's like, "Ha, you thought." I mean, like he does it really well. I mean, I was fooled for sure. I was fooled.
You had to see that coming.
What? Dude, he like
goes. You knew Kristoff was her true love.
Right, you knew Kristoff. The whole time you knew Kristoff was they were gonna end up together.
That's
like
a good
so,
point.
either they were going to tarnish Anna's character by basically going up to Hans and being like, "I know, like the whole like we're in love thing and we're engaged. Never mind, I found someone else." Okay, they weren't gonna do that. They would tarnish Anna's reputation.
That is true.
So obviously, Han. So the fact that you got fooled says more about you than Disney. Beyond the point, Kristoff, is like a kind of a working class kind of guy.
Yeah,
you know, he goes and he
sells ice.
He sells ice, and is a great guy.
Well, he doesn't like helping other people.
He doesn't.
At the start.
Well, he has that outer appearance initially, but
he even insults the big summer blowout guy.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, again, but he's rough around the edges, and that's okay. He's rough around the edges, and he is eventually falls in love with Anna, and then Olaf is a snowman who is, I will say, I didn't love the movie. Olaf is hilarious. Olaf saves this movie because he is genuinely funny. Like, I know when we did Emperor's New Groove, you thought Kronk was funny.
Kronk was hilarious.
Kronk is a wannabe Olaf. Olaf is truly a funny character, and I appreciate it.
He was great. He definitely my favorite character. I mean, he always is like, you know, he says stuff that you're like, you know, I think some people might be like, well, like that's kind of dumb, but to me, it's just so, every line is so funny from him. It's amazing. His song too.
Yeah.
A lot of singing.
In summer. Yeah.
Okay, let's get into this.
Okay.
Because Elsa.
Yeah.
Elsa is not nearly as bad as y'all made her out to be. First of all, I had never seen this movie. They had both seen it, and they both said, you're going to hate Elsa. So I came in there expecting to hate Elsa. But Elsa's not nearly as bad as y'all said, because, okay,
yeah, let's hear it out.
First, y'all are like, oh, she hates her sister and all this. She was isolated for 15 years. I don't know how long.
Part of it in her doing, though. Part of it in her doing.
No, how?
When her parents were gone, who's on her to stay in her bedroom?
Yeah, she made
that choice herself.
Yeah.
Okay, but again, she isolates herself in order. Okay, y'all are acting like she did it because she hated her sister. In order not to kill Anna. Okay, that's a big thing that y'all missed out on. Like, right? Like y'all are saying, oh, she hated her sister. She almost killed her. And she is choosing not to be around her in order not to kill her. Okay, that seems to me rather loving. Okay, now what's not loving is what y'all wanted her to be, is reckless and just be like, oh, I'm going to hang out with her, I'm going to do whatever I want. Oh, accidentally killed her, didn't see that one coming even though I did it before. That would have been unloving. So y'all are absolutely wrong to say that Elsa was unloving to her sister.
Well, I don't disagree with you as far as the fact that, you know, like she was doing what's best to protect her, but she could have easily said, hey, Anna, this is why I can't hang out with you. Instead of not talking to her for 15 years and then they're sitting in the dark.
It's like a girl you go on a date with and she ghosts you after, and you're like, hey, like, you know, just wondering, you know, what happened. No response. That's what it was. You know, Anna and Elsa used to be great friends.
They had a good connection, that was it.
And then it was like, they were like, all of a sudden, Elsa didn't want to hang out with Anna anymore.
I mean, if I just stopped answering your calls, would you not want to know why?
Okay, yes, but here, so I get Anna wanting to know why. I get that, okay? But Elsa, she has this, which we never find out how she got this, right? Like, do they ever tell us how she got the powers?
I think in the second movie they go into it more.
I don't know.
But it's kind of, the second movie's not good.
This is going to be an aside real quick, but this movie does a terrible job of explaining most things. Okay, first of all, why are they so terrified of winter? Okay, no one ever really says why we are so terrified of it being winter. So
I think
they're in the middle of summer. That's why it's a lot. It's in July. Could you imagine it was a blizzard here in July?
Yeah, but you're in, first of all, the Scandinavian countries. Okay, so it's not as if they had never seen snow before. Also, The first scene is them in snow. So again, it's not like they're terrified of snow. It's not like snow hit, I don't know, the Amazon rainforest where no one is prepared for it. They're presumably the Scandinavian countries. Surely they would have seen snow.
I think
why are they so terrified?
I think they think like this is like an eternal winter. Like unless Elsa comes back or unless something changes,
okay, but
it's gonna last forever.
Here's my point: is we're having to guess because the movie doesn't explain it. Okay, because the movie does a terrible job of explaining it.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
They never explain how Elsa gets her powers. She just does, and then everyone thinks she's a sorceress. Is she? We don't know.
Is she the only one with powers?
We don't know, right? So that's an aside. The movie sucks in that regard. But okay, Elsa, when she reveals that she has the powers, or accidentally but inadvertently, but she does it. Okay, everyone assumes she's a sorceress. So which I assume is a bad thing in this society. The way they react. So she had no idea to know if Anna would view her that way either, right? Because that's not only not to kill Anna, but the king and queen, her parents are like, you can't let anyone else know for that reason. Okay, they're gonna think you're a sorceress. So, yeah, it would have been great to tell Anna, but you have no idea how Anna's gonna respond. Again, that's defensible. Y'all are acting like she said, "Hey, Anna, I know we used to be friends, but Bumpy, I'm never gonna talk to you again." And then, for no reason.
She kind of did in her words, though. I mean, she never said anything to her.
Yeah. But again, because she didn't want it to reveal herself to be a source. I'm just saying it's understandable. I'm not saying I would.
No. All right, let's fast forward because eventually Anna finds out, right? And Anna's like, I don't care. Like, I want to help you. And then she shoots ice in her heart and puts a giant snow monster trying to kill him. I mean, to me, that seems like
I'm gonna be honest. The snow monster is pretty bad.
Yeah,
it's hard to defend that. But your whole comment about she didn't even ask to see if she was okay when she hit her with heart. She didn't know that she had hit her in the heart with ice.
Why is she on the floor? Why is she on the floor?
What is she supposed to say? Like, hey, Anna, you look fine, you seem fine, you're still.
Did I
hit you in the heart?
Chris says, Anna, are you okay? She says, we need to get out of here. I don't know. It looks like she might be in pain.
But she's still alive. It's not like she may have been hurt, right? But she wasn't hit in the heart. Y'all made it sound like she got hit in the heart, and she was like, "Oh, you're probably gonna die."
No, if I shoot you in the leg, but you're not gonna die, does it still hurt? I'd still say, no, are you okay? I'm sorry I shot you in the leg.
Listen, I'm not defending. I'm not pro Elsa. Okay.
Yeah.
Y'all are just anti Elsa for no reason. Let's remember. Let's remember.
Okay.
She is a little girl when her parents tell her to stay in her room forever and not interact with anyone. So for
conceal, don't feel, right?
Exactly. So for 15 years, she has been told, don't show your powers, don't be around people, you can't control it. You grow up in that environment. That is her sole focus. Not, I should probably be nicer to Anna. I should probably love Anna. That's not her focus. Is do not kill Anna like I almost did. Okay?
I mean, this brings me to that important point. Overall, I think the parents made the wrong decision in the situation by blocking her off. It ultimately made things worse. Had they gone through it, and it staged the whole thing. The whole overlying theme of the movie, in my opinion, is love's an open door. They sing it, they talk about it all day, and guess what? They closed those doors to Arendelle, and it only got worse. But when they reopened them, and everybody got to come through again, and Anna and Elsa opened their hearts to love, not for Prince Hans, but for everybody else. It worked out, and the movie, it took the happy trail. I think ultimately, if their parents didn't lock her away,
that's a good point.
Like some freak or a sorceress or whatever, then we wouldn't have had. We wouldn't have this movie to talk about.
No. The movie was pretty boring anyway. We've had the arguments, but
it's a hot take.
But nothing really happens. She goes off, they go and find her, and then it's then we gotta go back. It's just there's nothing exciting about it.
I caught you singing "Let It Go" with me. Yeah, we're on the couch. I caught you singing a little bit.
But
let's just talk real quick about the songs. "Let It Go." That's an amazing song. And Elsa, I will say that was the one part of Elsa I really liked. She just killed that song, right?
Okay, but let
shout out to Dina Menzel.
Let what go? Let her
her feelings go. Her built up anger.
She's been holding it back, right? Her powers. Now let it go.
Just let it go.
Just whenever you want. Just hey, you feel it, you do it, let it go.
Yeah, that's it.
Terrible philosophy.
I mean, hey,
when I feel
now
anger,
you're supporting anti-Elsa.
When I feel, you're not wrong there. Again, I'm not anti-Elsa, or I'm not pro-Elsa. I'm just not anti-Elsa. But
I got you.
That let it go. Like, well, if I feel anger, can I just act on that anger whenever I want, however I want to do it? Like, that's a terrible philosophy, terrible mentality.
I mean, yeah, I agree. Like, yeah, you never want to. Your first feeling most of the time, especially in like stressful situations or when you're mad at your sister, like it's probably not a good thing to just shoot ice at everybody. Yeah, I mean, probably shouldn't let it go. But I think she had gotten past the point of like I don't want to like try to hold it back anymore.
And this
she
is another.
She just felt free. That's all.
Yeah, this is another argument we had even while the movie was going. Is she like has this for 15 years? She's told, don't let this go, don't let this go, don't let this go. She finally lets it go in the sense of like the one thing she's feared this entire time. She does it. Everyone reacts the exact way that they thought that they would react, and then she runs away. And in the process of running away, is finally just like, well, let it go. I'm free now. No, she would never. No human being would react that way. They would be like, what did I just do? They think I'm a monster. The one thing I couldn't do, I did. I suck. I'm awful. And instead she's like, well, screw it, boys and girls.
Well, she's an animated character.
Okay, but she is human. Like, she's supposed to resemble some human characteristics. That's not human in the slightest bit. I mean, neither is like magical powers, but like...
But have you ever done something that that you've been worried about for whatever it is, and like it happens, you're like finally like yes, like it's out, like let it go, man. Like it's a freeing feeling, like, and at that point like nothing else matters because like everything that was pent up in the situation is gone. So for her, she spent 15 years wondering what people were gonna think of her when they found out. At this point, they found out. So what else can she do? Like at that point, it is what it is. So I'm free now. She's on her own. She wasn't worried about what anybody else thought at this point.
The issue is like most of the time, like when we have feelings like that, like I think. We think, oh my god, if somebody finds out or whatever, like, it's gonna be really bad, right? Most of the time, like, somebody finds out, like, oh, like, it's not that big of a deal, right? Now with this, pretty big deal that people found out. She froze the entire city. I mean, it's obviously, there's some concern here, and she needs to try to fix it, but instead, just runs off and I'm gonna let it go. Make it even worse, why not? I mean...
You're not wrong. And again, and this to me is really my biggest beef with the movie. Okay, because the solution to this all. Okay, because the whole movie is about Elsa finally trying to control her powers, right? So the concern is she can't control it. She's going to kill someone, and then at the end of the movie, she can finally control it. It's not winter they were afraid of; it's the fact that it was uncontrollable winter.
Yeah.
Okay. So how did Elsa learn to control her powers? Love.
Love's an open door, is what I'm telling you.
How does love teach you how to control something? Love can make you want to control something, just like she wanted to separate herself from Anna in order to not kill her. That's a level of control. But love doesn't teach you how. What teaches you how to control? What taught Elsa? Just love? Oh, she found love, and all of a sudden she can automatically control it? No, love can make you want to. It can't teach you how. This is what teaches you how. It's not running off into the forest, right?
Yeah.
Or it's not, hiding off in your room. It's actually being around people, being in society, and something you don't see. Okay, something you don't see in the movie is her like being involved in institutions, social institutions that shape and form you and mold you to learn how to act in society. Mm-hmm. She just does it. She just is all of a sudden like, I can control it all. That doesn't happen. Like, you can't just love and, I love you. Oh, now I know how to have self-control.
So going back to, the not interacting with institutions, right? Like going to school or like church or your sister or friends, right? She had none of that. I think it goes back to her parents made a bad decision.
Yeah, really bad.
Family is obviously, and the parental relationship is going to be a huge institution.
Yeah, they said love's a closed door. I mean,
they did.
They shut that.
And I'm here for that. So how did she learn it?
Yeah,
no human can just all of a sudden have self-control.
Well, you either have it or you don't. Like,
also, that's not actually true. That's completely wrong.
Also, I want to say. how did she learn to love? I think the only person who had love was Anna, sacrificing herself for Elsa. What did Elsa do? What, she like, oh, that's what love is? Let me love now. And
and Anna, okay, Anna, she has been ignored for 15 years.
Yep.
She has asked her sister, do you want to build a snowman for 15 years?
Yep.
She's tried to have
every day.
She's tried to have a relationship with her sister for 15 years, has been shut off over and over and over and over again, and still wants to have a relationship with her sister.
Unconditional love right there.
Loves her sister. But that is so not human. That's my point. It's like Anna is.
Well, we don't deserve Princess Anna. We don't
deserve her. Because she's not human. Like, what flaw does Anna have? Right? She's
too trusting.
She
is too trusting. That is a good one.
Just
going off your newsletter.
That's a good. I'll give you that one. That's a good flaw. There's no way a human would, after 15 years, still want to have a relationship with a family member that didn't want to see you. In a kind of tense way, but not in a, oh, please, I still love you, please, like she does. That's ridiculous. No way.
So, my question is, I mean, it sounds like, Hunter, you're kind of on the anti-Elsa side now. And my question is, why did so many people, after watching this movie, so many little kids, want to be Elsa rather than Anna? Right?
Because I think she's portrayed as, what Disney does with all these princesses. Is they're like, she's the stereotypical, beautiful, long flowing blonde hair, pretty gowns princess that unfortunately for us, Anna doesn't fit that narrative. She doesn't fit the narrative, but that's why Elsa's so popular.
Ariel, Snow White, Belle. None of them have blonde hair. You're thinking of like Cinderella, and that's it.
She fits the same. What color is Cinderella's dress?
Okay, but I'm saying
she fits the Cinderella stereotype.
There's other princesses in the Disney world that aren't blonde, so.
Yeah, but have you seen anybody dressed as Ariel?
No, you never seen her as Ariel.
No,
because that would be a little inappropriate for that little girl to dress like.
Maybe you're right.
Do they have a? Do they have a? When you walk into Magic Kingdom, do they have a whatever Ariel lives? They have that thing right there to take pictures. No, they have Cinderella's castle. She's the most important.
Never been to Disney, so I can tell you.
It's probably for the best.
You're missing out. I'll tell you that. You're missing out.
Don't listen
to. Well, I think that's all we got. But
9 out of 10, solid movie.
I really liked it.
9 out of 10.
If you haven't seen the second one, you can watch it. It's gonna be disappointing.
We're probably gonna watch it at some point.
Yeah, we will. Yeah.
Music's not as good. It's longer.
Yeah.
Same plot holes, but.
Yeah. Oh, more plot holes in the second one because they just try to go. They try to actually explain powers and stuff.
So some things are just better left not being said. They're better left to the imagination.
Yeah. I'll take your word for it. I haven't watched it, so maybe we'll do that at some point. All right. Well, subscribe, share, do all that.
I'd like to thank Alex for being on.
Thanks for having me.
Let us know if you want him back. Let us know if you want him back.
Hey, bring me back.
He's been dying for this moment. So
I've waited over a year to be on here, so I'm glad I could finally make it. Thanks for having me, boys.
Absolutely.
Like, subscribe, bring me back on the podcast.
That's all right. All right. See y'all.
See ya.